A lot of the symbolism in the book kind of correlates with the themes, which is like the value of your heritage, the value of family, the value of your dreams. Yep. So the first quote that we're going to analyze is the egg quote. It says, "There you are, man say to his woman. I got me a dream, his woman say, eat your eggs. Man say, I got to take hold of this here world, baby. And a woman will say, eat your eggs and go to work. Man say, I got to change my life. I'm choking to death, baby. And his woman say, your egg is getting cold." The eggs she makes every day symbolize her mechanical approach to supporting him. She provides him with nourishment, but always in the same predictable way. It could also represent other things, such as being quiet and eating one eggs represents an acceptance of the adversity that Walter and the rest of the youngers face in life, and symbolize both Ruth's practicality and Walter's yearning for support from his wife. The whole family goes through a lot, and sometimes they do have to sit and just watch. Another symbolic thing in A Raisin in the Sun is Mama's plant. And just like any plant, if you would like it to grow as a healthy plant, then you would want to nourish it well, so just give it water and sunlight. So the plant represents her children and how she wants to nourish them. So this is the actual quote from the book where she first sees the plant, where we get to first see the plant. And it says, she goes to her plant, which has remained on the table, looks at it, picks it up, and takes it to the windowsill and sits it outside. And she stands and looks at it a long moment. Then she closes the window, straightens her body with her effort, and turns around to her children. Her care for the plant is similar to the care of her children. Mama's dream to own her own house, and then Mama's persistent and dedication to the plant fosters her hope that her dream may come true, which is to own her own home. And the moment like that she stands up straight, it just shows the confidence that she has and how much dedication she's willing to put for her children. Most of the book centers around the fact that they have this big shack and everyone wants to use the money for something, for medical school, for a house, for a liquor store. So the life insurance check that Mama receives after the death of her husband represents her hope of one day owning a house. Insurance payment that results from Big Walter's death illustrates the tremendous sacrifice that make at least some of the youngest dreams a reality. In the hope of helping his children achieve his dream, Big Walter sacrificed himself to give his family the opportunity for a better life. In even knowing that racial prejudice prevented him from obtaining a house and fulfilling a job during his own lifetime, Big Walter's sacrifice symbolizes the efforts that generations of African Americans made to give to their children's dream of a chance for success. Also, the extreme nature of Big Walter's sacrifice shows the extent to which racism limited African Americans' opportunity for social advancement, but their insurance payment also gives a purpose to Big Walter's death and epitomizes the hope and dignity of the younger family. Conversely, the frequent arguments between the youngers that results from the insurance payment signify the divisive power of money. So in this story, Benitha has two boyfriends. One of them is really rich and doesn't really acknowledge his African American culture, but the other one does. And when they go out on a date, he asked her, why didn't she wear her hair in a natural form? And this kind of starts the whole symbolism about your heritage and how it represents your natural hair should represent your natural beauty. So this is a conversation, and her boyfriend's name's Asagi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It says, you will wear it well, very well. mutilated hair and all. Beneatha, my hair, what's wrong with my hair? Asagi, were you born with it like that? Beneatha, no, of course not. In the story, Beneatha reevaluates the significance of her assimilationist hairstyle and decides to cut her hair and wear it in its natural form. Beneatha's cutting of her hair is a very, very powerful social statement, as she symbolically represents that natural is beautiful, prefiguring the 1960s cultural credo that black is beautiful. Asagi criticizes her, saying that she's assimilated, meaning that she tries to hide her Africanness by acting white. She uses her hair as an example. Asagi can't understand why she and most other black women in America straighten their hair instead of leaving it in a natural curly form. So another symbolic thing is the deal. And the deal is this guy who offers the younger family something, and then the deal he offers is a non-specific sum of money in order for the family to stay outside of his neighborhood, as if to say to them to stay within the shackles of segregation. Mr. Linder's deal is, as Dr. Martin Luther King says in his famous I Have a Dream speech, the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Or perhaps it is better expressed by Langston Hughes in his poem Harlem, as crusted and sugared over like a syrup sweet. Either way, it is a deal to appease them into tolerating injustice, as it is one tiny step, one small benefit to keep them satiated for a while. Lastly and finally, so I can go to bed, A Dream Deferred is a poem written by Langston Hughes, and he mentions A Raisin in the Sun, which is the name of the book, and so his poem actually is basically the whole theme of the book, and it says, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? Langston Hughes' poem Harlem illustrates what could happen if those dreams never came to fruition. Together, both Hansberry and Hughes show the effects on human beings when a long-awaited dream is thwarted by economic and social hardships, and those are discrimination and racism during that time in American history. Walter in the story is carrying a dream deferred. It is as a raisin that dries up in the sun. Walter loses all of Mama Younger's insurance money, and Walter is left with a dried up dream. Walter can relate to Hughes' poem. His dream sags and explodes, leaving Walter to pick up the pieces of his broken dream. Walter screams and yells like a wounded animal. His dream explodes as he explodes. He shouts out his anger and hurt. Willionaire Harris has destroyed Walter's dream of having his own business. The symbolism in the book goes with the whole showing how African Americans' dreams, because of racism, because of discrimination, their dreams were shattered, and they had to constantly work hard, but their dreams had to dry up like a raisin in the sun, basically.